Imagine your entire production line grinding to a halt because a single piece of equipment failed. In industries like mining, power generation, or manufacturing, that piece of equipment is often a pump. It's the unsung hero of your operation, and when it stops, everything stops. That's why the way you buy pumps matters more than you might think. Today, I want to talk about a strategy that's gaining a lot of traction: the long-term supply agreement, or LTSA, with pump manufacturers. Instead of buying pumps project by project, companies are signing contracts that span 3, 5, or even 10 years. They're not just buying equipment, they're securing a partnership for a steady supply of pumps, spare parts, and technical support. At first glance, this sounds incredibly appealing. But is it always the right move? Like any major business decision, it comes with a balance of significant advantages and some serious risks that you need to consider. Let's break down both sides. First, let's look at why companies are moving toward these agreements. The biggest advantage, and the one that usually gets people in the door, is cost stability. Pump prices can be volatile. They're tied to the cost of steel, global logistics, and 100 other factors. A long-term agreement lets you lock in pricing. For a financial planner or a procurement manager, that predictability is gold. You can budget with confidence, knowing that a sudden spike in material costs isn't going to blow a hole in your bottom line. Then there's the issue of availability. If you've ever ordered a large, customized pump, you know the lead times can be brutal, sometimes 20 weeks or more. But when you're a contract customer with a long-term deal, you get priority. The manufacturer slots your orders into their production schedule first. This means faster delivery, less downtime waiting for a replacement, and a much more resilient supply chain. For industries where every hour of downtime costs a fortune, this is a massive win. Beyond just the hardware, these agreements foster deeper collaboration. When a manufacturer knows they have a long-term partner, they're more invested in your success. They'll send in their engineers to help with pump selection, to optimize your system for efficiency, and to train your technicians. This kind of collaboration often leads to lower operating costs and fewer unexpected failures over the life of the equipment. Another huge benefit is standardization. Think about the nightmare of managing spare parts inventory for 5 different pump brands across 3 different facilities. It's a logistical headache. A long-term agreement allows you to standardize on one manufacturer, one product line. Parts become interchangeable. Your maintenance team only needs to learn one set of procedures. It simplifies everything and saves a ton of money in hidden carrying costs. And finally, it simplifies the entire procurement process. Instead of going through the rigmarole of supplier qualification, technical evaluation, and legal negotiations every single time you need a pump, it's all done. You have a framework in place. Purchasing becomes an administrative task, freeing up your team to focus on more strategic work. But, and this is a big but, a long-term agreement is not a magic bullet. It comes with its own set of very real risks. The most obvious one is a loss of flexibility. You are, for better or worse, tied to this one supplier. If a new competitor emerges with a revolutionary, more efficient pump in 3 years, you might not be able to take advantage of it. You're locked in. This leads to the risk of technology lock-in. Pump technology is always evolving. We're seeing amazing advancements in energy-efficient motors, smart monitoring systems, and wear-resistant materials. If your supplier isn't at the forefront of those innovations, your entire operation could fall behind the curve, stuck with older, less efficient technology while your competitors leap ahead. Then there's the risk that your chosen supplier doesn't perform. Maybe their quality control slips. Maybe their after-sales support becomes slow and unresponsive. Maybe they even face financial trouble. You're still bound by the contract, but you're now dealing with the operational headaches and risks of a failing partner. And let's not forget, these contracts are complex. They're full of minimum purchase commitments, price adjustment clauses, and legal jargon. Managing them requires dedicated effort from your legal, financial, and procurement teams. If you don't manage it actively, a contract meant to simplify things can become a major source of friction and dispute. Ultimately, the biggest risk is overdependence. You're putting all your eggs in one basket. If that supplier has a fire at their factory, or a strike, or a logistics failure, your entire supply chain is compromised. There's no backup. Your production is now directly tied to their ability to deliver. So, how do you navigate this? How do you get the benefits without falling into the traps? Before you sign on the dotted line, you need to do your homework. First, vet your supplier ruthlessly. Don't just look at their sales pitch. Look at their track record. Have they done this before? Do they have the financial stability to last the length of the contract? Go and visit their factory. Second, look at their product range and service network. Can they support all your needs, across all your sites? If you have a plant in a remote location, do they have a service partner nearby who can get parts to you within 24 hours, not 24 days? Third, demand transparency in pricing. How will prices adjust over time? Is it tied to a raw material index? Get it in writing. Make sure the terms for spare parts are clear and fair. And finally, build in performance guarantees. Don't accept vague promises. The contract should say, pump efficiency will be no less than X%. Emergency service will be on site within Y hours. Spare parts will be shipped within Z days. These measurable commitments are your only real protection. A long-term supply agreement with a pump manufacturer is a powerful tool. It can give you cost control, supply security, and a valuable strategic partner. But it's a tool that must be handled with care. When done right, based on deep research and a clear-eyed view of the risks, it transforms from a simple purchasing contract into a foundation for reliable, efficient, and sustainable growth. Thanks for watching. If you have experience with these kinds of agreements, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe for more insights.